from AEA PD Online. I just heard a little misconception floating around that this is a session about Heartland. I used to work for Heartland for 10 years in July. I transitioned to AEA PD Online. I work for all the AEAs now across the state. And we work with how we connect online learning professional development for teachers and kids. And so the really big thing that I have when people come and talk to me is the question of certification or recertification or finding things that I'm passionate about. I have teachers that email me and say, I didn't know I had to be recertified and I have to get 5 credits in 3 months. What am I going to do? Okay? Anybody here have had that conversation with somebody from us? It's a big thing. Or I'm really passionate about this and I don't know where to find it. How can I learn more about it? So I'm going to talk to you about some of those things, and I'm going to transition to what you can do with kids in the same environment. So we have a lot of online content. In this presentation I'm going to show you now, I'll have Mary send to you when I'm done. But if you want to take content, classes online, you guys all have Chromebooks. In fact, I'm teaching several Chromebook classes on how to use Chromebooks in social studies or Chromebooks in the math classroom, Chromebooks in social studies, those types of things. If you have iPads, every elementary has iPads. How do we do those types of things? So we offer a lot of that type of content, things on the Iowa Core, things specific to content. This is a facilitated professional development. That means there's a teacher at the beginning. They walk you through. Their job is to keep you motivated and interested and grade your work, and it ends at a certain day. You can get license renewal or you can get graduate credit. So again, by facilitate, I mean that they're with a teacher. They begin at a certain time, they end at a certain time. Maybe that's not how you like to work. Maybe all you want is when you want it. But we offer that as well. We have something, and I'm going to take you into this site. If you want to play along with me, you're welcome to do so. We have, I'm sorry, I'm going to go forward a little bit more. That's about seminar, which is not about you, it's about your administrative team, so let me move forward a little bit. So we have a personalized learning system for teachers. This is the same place that you guys have gone to do your bloodborne pathogens and mandatory reporting, but there's more there. I want to take you through what is there that you can use. So if you want to play along, you can go to this website and log in. Nancy, somebody needs some help. Log in with your username and password if you take the mandatory reporting of bloodborne pathogens. If that's not something you know, I can get that to you after my presentation. But I want you to see what's there. I'll leave that up for those of you that are trying to get to the site. Okay, so training.aeapdonline.org is the website. Can I move on from there? So I'm going to take you right into what that looks like. And if I click on courses at the top, if I click on training at the top and click on show all, this is all the content that we currently have in our system. And so let's say you were interested in learning more about digital citizenship, or you were interested in learning more about Google, the suite of tools, or learning more about social networking, or learning more about the laws that talk about keeping students' information safe, the COPA and FERPA laws, or ethics in Iowa. There's a whole bunch of content here that as I scroll down, you're going to see things that you could take either for credit or just to learn about. So in PLCs, we often have groups that want to differentiate the professional development. They want to learn about this because another group wants to learn about something else. How do you know what's available that has some merit to it? So we have this type of content you can look through. You can take this content anytime, anywhere. So this is anytime in your professional development. If it takes you 3 months to do it, it takes you 3 months to do it. So you could start this course anytime. You could be in the Bahamas if your district would send you there and still take your course. It is not facilitated. There is no teacher that goes along with it, but at the end, if you're taking it for credit, you have to turn in an action plan that then gets graded, they assign it, you pay the credit. This content for credit is only for license renewal. So on the right-hand side, if I scroll up, there's a link over here that that's called self-paced courses. And right now we have 7 that are offered for credit. We're adding more. I just added one on the paraeducator component last week. We're adding one in the universal construct. We hope to be done by Christmas. It won't be done by Christmas. But this is stuff that you can take for license renewal credit. The credit cost is $60, so it's a real reasonable price for license renewal credit. And again, you go through the learning modules, self-paced learning. At the end, your job is then to take what you've learned, put a plan together that you can use with kids in your classroom, submit it to the teacher of record, of which I teach 3 of them. We would then authorize that that grade has been received. You make a $60 payment and you get the credit. Okay, questions on what I've shown you so far? People are getting lost, and they still people are still trying to find their way. At the front page, when I was back at the show all, you'll notice the ones that were in brown, how the brown wrapper are the same ones that you saw when you clicked on the self-paced courses, but they also wrapped around with something that are blue. So if you look at the digital citizenship, to the right of that you'll see digital citizenship in blue. That's on cyberbullying and online safety. That's on digital literacy, those types of pieces. If you just want the knowledge and you don't care about the credit, you could take the course that's in the blue wrapper. The only time you have to worry about taking it, doing the credit or making payment if it's in the brown wrapper. But the content in blue is the same content. So if you're really interested in the social media part and all you're looking to care about is Facebook and Instagram, you could follow along and just take those 2 things, not take it for credit, but take it for your own learning. It goes through the safety pieces that you want to talk about with kids, thinking about things that you want to do as well in your own life if you go online. And so this is the content that's available for you. Questions on that? Questions on navigating that system? I can give you your username and password at the end of the day. That's not being very safe and secure. Okay? So once you're logged in, you just take the course, go in, and you do it at your own pace. In this system, there's also something else I wasn't sure if you were aware of, is there's also a portfolio. Anybody here doing a digital portfolio? A couple of you guys are. You're using sites?
Oh, yeah.
You're using sites too? Google Sites? Well, there's a portfolio built into this system as well. If I click on you at the top here, if I click on the word you once you're logged in, there's a portfolio builder. Ignore my evidence of whatever. I'm going to go ahead and upload. If I click upload, I choose the file that I want as my artifact. Down below there are the teaching standards, and the components should be popping up here. The components that represent that particular teaching standard. So I can link the artifact, mark the teaching standards, and it becomes part of my portfolio that I can share with my administrator. It also becomes a portfolio that goes with me if I go from district to district to district, because it's part of you, not part of the system.
Is that something that they can, if a person changed states, that it would go with? Or?
They would log in and as the paid customer, but they would still have to log in, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, they'd be still using that as that piece. So eventually we'll have links to, they can link to videos, link to Google Drive documents, those types of things. Right now it's uploading of artifacts. Okay? So questions on the training options that are there for professional development for teachers. So the 2 things that I mentioned to you are online courses that we teach that are facilitated and self-paced content that you can take for credit. Okay? And I know some of you may be at a point where you don't worry about recertification, but even think about those things you might be passionate about to help others. If you have children or grandchildren that are doing Facebook, maybe you want to know more about it so that you can help them. So it's really about what you're passionate with, not necessarily about what may take you to that additional level in your recertification. So we've talked about this. I'm just going to repeat for those of you that need to hear it 3 or 4 times to get it. So this is a site, $60 for license renewal credit. Your district can create trainings. I'm not going to worry about that.
but we did talk about how you as a teacher could use this to create your own portfolio. At some point in time in this system, your district could upload things that they want you to be able to know and do as well. So I have several districts that are uploading acceptable use policy. The teacher would go in, mark it red, and then they could run reports to see that these people have truly done the work that they said they have done. They don't have to have you sign off and have secretaries do the work. So I see that becoming something big that as I talk with your administrative team, they start looking at that as an option. Okay, so we've wrapped all that up. We're building a student personalized learning system. The same thing's going to apply for kids. Kids are going to be able to see content. They're going to be able to say, I want to learn more about this myself. Or a teacher could say, I see this algebra class that has this, and this. I'm going to wrap it up into a course that my kids could use to help facilitate their own learning. So I'm going to take you into there. You will not be able to play along with me because you're not teachers in the system yet. It's still in pilot. You may be using it for digital citizenship for your kids in perhaps in February, if that goes, if we pilot it out. But this is being used for some districts. But I want you to see what this looks like because this will go live for districts and teachers next fall. And we have teachers that are just ecstatic about this opportunity. So what we have in here, and I don't know if you can see it very well, is we are writing up algebra courses. So I'm working on building algebra content that has interactives and those types of things to help students learn about algebra. We are partnering with character counts. So we have 40 character counts modules. So if you have kids that really are not doing well in setting goals, they can run to the character counts module on goal setting, understand the discussion part, and it becomes part of the things that you talk about in class on setting goals, or doing an elevator speech, or those types of things that go along with character counts. So we have 40 of those pieces. Time management. I know adults who need time management, not necessarily just kids. So here are how this would work. We have digital citizenship for middle school, high school. I'm just building one for 3-5, and we're building one for K2. So if you have young people that are your children or grandchildren going to school, they can learn more about digital citizenship through this series. And we are building science content. So I have lab safety in chemistry, biology, and general science that a teacher could share with their students at the beginning of the year. Students would go through that content, and then it becomes part of the conversation that teacher would have every time they do labs. Remember when we saw that thing in chemistry, we used to talk about not putting chemicals together, and you saw that big explosion? Here's why. I want to remind you that this is not what we're going to do in our lab. And then we're putting together physical science content. These are just some of the things that we have. We're partnering with ISU Extension, we're partnering with FFA, we're partnering with a bunch of different companies in the state of Iowa to help develop more content that a student could self-assign, or a teacher could again say, I want this, this, and this wrapped together in a course for my kids. Along with this, we're going to have performance tasks that you can link together. So I can pick this content as a teacher, this content, put this performance task together, add this rubric, do this work, and they would then have something that they could build into their own portfolio. So we'll add that same thing that you saw in the teacher part, but it'll be student portfolios. It's all going to be tied to the Iowa Core. So what you see now will look different by February. It's not going to look like that teacher system that you saw. It's going to look very much like, here's the Iowa Core piece. I want to go in and find this content and support this learning, do this with kids, bring it all together, wrap it around, and then make it work for my students, assign it to kids. So questions on the personalized learning system? Again, that is self-paced. Anybody interested or seen some things that I'd be interested in? You guys are a real hard sell today.
I teach algebra, and I question how this is going to be different than Khan Academy.
Actually, this is quite a bit different than Khan Academy.
Because you're saying it's reteaching or yourself.
It's self-paced in that sense. It has some Khan Academy videos, but it also has work set, work examples. It has, let me run you through one quick.
Not necessarily. I was just curious how it was different.
Yeah.
Because Khan is the
Khan does some of that. We do a little bit better job of watching the videos. I'm assuming you look at the videos and see what kids are talking.
I know you're
Okay,
so that's
yeah,
why.
I'm a math teacher and science teacher, and looking at several of those things, both in math and science, where they're teaching incorrectly. and that bothers me. So we try to look at that content, get it out better. I'm getting all this content out to all the curriculum consultants at all the AEAs. So if it has asterisk by the other ones that have been added, I meeting with them Thursday. There's some science ones happening on some better prices. And there's record keeping as well, which Khan Academy does have, but you can see all the pieces that belong, and then they're linked to the Ivor standards. Okay, this is what eventually, it's a bad picture because of it's really dark to see, but that's what it's going to look like eventually, where a teacher could, Nancy, can I pull lights down and a new piece on it? Mm-hmm. Where a teacher could come in and have tasks, a project level task, which again, Khan Academy doesn't allow you to do, but I could say I'm going to assign this project. One of the things with digital citizenship is they are actually going to go out and create posters or create flow charts based on what they're learning. You could put that in as a task and then link it to an assessment, whether it's a teacher checklist or a rubric or those types of things. The teacher learning opportunities, I've got districts that want to use it for credit recovery. I talked with Mary, she's not sure that that's an issue for you guys. But some are really looking at that. And then the ability for a student to take any of those pieces, the artifacts, the assessment, and make a portfolio out of it. They could take and send that to a community college, to a university, to a prospective employer, and say, this is me, this represents me, this is who I am, this is why you should hire me or why I should be coming to college, because I have all this base knowledge. So that's what the student system will look like. That will be running live for every district come actually this summer. Districts that are interested. More content to be discovered. I know you have a Moodle server in-house.
We're actually on the AEA one now.
Okay, so you're using ours now. So we do the Moodle hosting for you. Moodle is a learning management system that allows you to blend your classroom, flip your classroom, whatever term you want to use. It's using an online portion for that. But that takes a lot of time, a lot of work to build that content. So I want to create something for physical science, or I want to create something for LGBT. How do I use that? Well, it's going to take me forever. So what we have done is we have built e-curriculum that you can take a look at. And if you want to play along with me, you can go to this website, moodle.aeak12online.org. It's something you may be there. Is that where your exit ticket's residing as well?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so some of you may already be there. Are they activated as teachers, or are they just students in the system?
They're teachers in our Kemper part of
So
the.
are they the educator activation
I don't know. I assume they came in as.
as students?
Yeah. I guess I don't know how
To your
Evan
system.
pulled them in because they're teachers for our system, but I don't know if they're students for the AEA system.
Okay, well, we'll find out. So this is what that system looks like. It's moodle.aeak12online.org. And if you want to use our content or use content that someone else has built and shared, once you're logged in, you can log into your Google account. If we haven't done, that's how they're doing it for you, I'm assuming.
They're using our username and passwords
So
for
use
the
the username
district.
and password that Mary gave you.
It's your normal username and password that you use in the system. Anybody need help getting to it or getting logged in?
Logged in, please.
Try
You are not logged in.
down here, and
So
you
this
use
is
your
just
username, just
Like, to
your
log
basic
into my
one.
computer
And you've not been into Moodle at all?
lately?
Well, this year.
This year, I think.
Okay.
It's the
Well,
school password, right?
it could have been last spring's password, or it could, if you've been in it this year, you probably changed it to either the ID number or your current password. And I don't know. I mean, everybody was given an option.
I don't think that.
I didn't take it.
Can we go to Heartland?
It's this web address right up here.
I'll be there.
No, you're not going to go to Hartford.
Should be the same Moodle that you were in just a few minutes ago, Howard.
Yeah, So just stay
Well,
there.
otherwise go down here and use, yep, do that. And then search by
If for some
email
reason
address.
this isn't going to, you can't get into the next piece I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and try and activate all of you. And I'll show you how to do that, so that will work for us. But it'll happen probably after I leave.
All right, just hit continue.
Okay,
It's
we
gonna
all
go to your
there?
email to see
And logged in, can I zoom
your
out?
Google. Yeah. So you're gonna have to do another tab right here to get to your Gmail.
So I want you to
Google.
scroll down just a little bit to where it says e-curriculum catalog. Where it says e-curriculum catalog. It's just down a little bit in center. So some of you, yep,
That'd be
good,
the one you
okay.
use all the time.
So if you click on e-curriculum catalog, this is content that other teachers in the state have said, you know what, you guys can have and share with other districts. Or other people in the world that have said, I built this course, I'm going to share it out, anybody that wants to use it can use it. We're grabbing it and putting it into our e-curriculum catalog for other teachers to use. So, since I was a science consultant for a few years, I'm going to go the science route. And you'll notice that there are 56 somethings in science. So if I clicked on that, I would see 56 either full courses, semester courses, or just lessons relating to science. And you can follow along with your particular curriculum if you have it there. I'm going to click on science so you can see how this works. Scroll down to e-curriculum catalog. Whoop, let that for now. Right there on the left. Yep, there you go. Okay, how are we doing? Is everybody following along okay?
Teachers must request.
Okay, then you haven't been given access as a teacher, so I'm going to have you do that. You just want me to take a look at thank you. What you do is see if she gets it. I get a person that's watching to see if anybody that comes through. And so she has to go in and activate you, and then when she does this, okay? So we'll give it a couple minutes. We'll check it in a minute. Can you working over here? Yep, okay.
So if they can't get past the e-curriculum catalog, that means they must be in a student's. You gave them an error
Yeah,
message.
so what I'll have you do, I have somebody who's going to watch today, so we'll call. Oh, then you should be, this is you.
I have a question. They don't have
Oh, I just we clicked one on the side.
You guys, you
Anybody
guys
else
get
need
that
help
there?
getting
Anybody
in?
else
they were
struggling?
going to, they threw it. The ones they were going to use, they threw it. The ones they were going to use, they threw it.
No, not on the side, over here. And then when you try to click on one of them, in this listing, have you got
Okay, so I'm going to take a look.
right now you're in gas, do not get used. Doesn't have anything to do with Google. So in Moodle, you're in guest, you're not in as you. So you have to log in as you here. See all this is your username. Here's this your username.
Oh, look, because we get
First initial, middle initial, and the last name, and the username.
Okay, so I'm going to look at this content, and I'm going to say, yeah, this all looks pretty good from a science perspective. But you see there are units, there are things on Earth systems, all this stuff for science. I'm going to go to the next one. And I've been building a lot of project-based learning lessons for both math, science, language arts, social studies, because I have degrees in way too many things. If somebody would pay me to go to school, that would have been a professional student. Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way, so I have to work for a living. But I'm able to build a lot of this content because I have a lot of that knowledge. So I'm going to go into the PBL biomes thing, because what I want to show you is how you can make this work for you. If I click on any of the content, I have the choice to preview the curriculum, which I highly recommend you do before using, or download it and then restore the whole thing into your course. Well, I'm going to go ahead and preview the curriculum. So I'm going to take a look at this one on biomes, this project-based. And what you're going to see is there's a video here. There is an investigation. There are resources for the investigation. There is what they're going to do when they come up and do their sharing part, how they're going to share, and then kind of follow-up activity. And so if I come in here and say, yeah, okay, I like this. I want to use this. I would come back to here and I would download it and restore it into my class. And Mary and Nancy can help you through the downloading and restoring if there are pieces here you want to use. But you know what? Maybe I don't want the whole thing. Maybe I just want this piece from here, and this piece from this class, and this piece from this class. Because you're using our server, you can do that. So I'm back in the class itself. When I'm in the class, you should see these little icons that have they look like little people over here to the right here. This, I don't know if you can see it very well. It looks like a filing cabinet. The little icon to the right there. If you're seeing that, that means that you can add it to your sharing cart. You can then go into your class and take it from your sharing cart. So if you think about this, I'm thinking about in science, there's 5 different things of physical science, written by different people that all have different content. I might want to take this video and this set of resources and this quiz and this explanation from all these different places by using my sharing cart and bring it in and make it my own course. Once you take any content, you can edit it. You bring a whole quiz, you don't like some of the questions, you make it, you can make the changes.
Because since you're still a student. If it's saying you can't get in because it says you're a student, then I need to change something. And she's going to give you, I guess, somebody who's waiting in the way this is going to happen. Okay, so if you're having trouble getting past the next part, let me know and I'll show you how to activate yourself as a teacher. But I can then activate my sharing cart in the course that I'm teaching and build that content. So I don't have to go find it. I don't have to spend my time when I'm teaching all day long and I have family all evening or I'm coaching or I'm doing other things. How am I going to build this content? Well, we're trying to help you by those that are willing to share, which is also the same point as if you have something that you're building and it's worthy of sharing, please consider sharing it with others through this part. And then Nancy, they're going to have to turn the sharing cart down on when they're in their own class as a teacher. It's a block. They have the sharing cart block.
Okay. Okay, I'm not going to show them that now because I don't have many
Right,
of their own
most of
classes,
them
but just so
wouldn't be.
you know.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I want to give you some time to play around in this system to see if there's any content that might be of interest to you that you could use with kids. Look at the Teacher Training Center to see if there's anything that you might be interested in taking as a professional development for yourself and having that exploration time. Does that sound like a fair rest of your 10, 15 minutes here? Okay, so let's go ahead and explore. I'll be here to ask questions.
And then before you leave, we'll get the exit slip that's in our Moodle for professional development.
Okay, still saying pending?
She said something about scrolling to the bottom. I've never had to do this. How long does they have to wait for the pending?
I'll go ahead and do it right now.
Oh, okay,
I
so
thought
she has
would
to
be
do
able
it.
to
I didn't realize you had to do it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought, well, like I said, I've got somebody doing it, but who knows, she might be getting calls for other things too. She said she'd watch for me.